Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new video. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. Now, in this video, we are looking at index notation. It's an introduction to what indices. And by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to understand what indices are, be able to recognize the base and the exponent, write numbers using indices, and then evaluate basic index notations as well. So, without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So when we talk of indices, which is also known as exponents or powers, then it's just a way of writing repeated multiplication of the same number. You see, so you want to multiply one digit a number of times. It is indices notation that we would use to do that. For instance, if you have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, using index notation or indices, we can easily write it as 2 raised to the power what? 3. You see, and what we mean here is for the 2 raised to the power 3, the 2 here, the number 2 here is what we call our base. So that is our base. And then the 3 here is what you call the index or the exponent or the power. You see, so generally, if you have a to the power n, the n is your index or the exponent. Any of this can be used interchangeably, or the power as well. You see, and then the a here is your base. Okay, so that is the basis of index notation. And what this simply means is the number 2 over here, it's multiplying itself 3 times. The number 2 is multiplying itself how many times? 3 times. We read it as 2 to the power 3, you see, or 2 exponent 3. You get it? Or 2 with an index of what? 3. So this is what the basics of indices, as I said. So let's look at what this means. Now, with the basic understanding of indices we have so far, then if you have the index notation 3 raised to the power 4, then in expanded form, it simply means you had what? 3 base, the base of 3 to the exponent 4. And it means 3 multiplying itself 4 times. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? And if you want to evaluate it, 3 times 3 gives us 9 times 3 times 3. It gives us 81. So it means 3 raised to the power 4 is what? 81. This is how we evaluate index notations. Let's take another example. We have 5 to the power 2. 5 to the power 2 simply means 5 multiplying itself. You see, that is 5 times 5. And we know 5 times 5 will then give us what? A 25. You get it? That is it. Now, even though we say the exponent represents how many times the number, which is the base, is multiplying itself, there are some special rules. And one of such rule we'll be looking at here is 10 to the power what? 1. So 10 to the power 1, if we want to evaluate it, then it is just 10. 10 is multiplying itself alone, just once. You get it? So generally, we say any number to the power 1 is equal to the same number. Any number to the power 1 is equal to the same number. And that is a property that is worth noting. So 2 to the power 1 would still remain what? 2. You see, 2 to the power 1 will still remain 2. 3 to the power 1 will still remain 3, in that order. Now, another important thing to take note of when dealing with indices is that any number at all raised to the power 0 is 1, except 0. This is one property that you need to know as we navigate the world of indices. This simply means that If you have 4 to the power 0, it's going to give you 1. Any number. 5 to the power 0 is giving you what? 1. 100 to the power 0 is giving you what? 1. Except 0. That means 0 to the power 0 is not going to give you 1. You get it? But any other number to the power 0 is giving us 1. These are the basic properties we would want to learn in this introductory lesson. Let's solve some questions, and in our next video we'll look at the laws of indices. So for our first one here, let's evaluate 2 to the power 3. So our solution, 2 to the power 3 simply means what? 2 multiplying itself 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Then we do what? We evaluate. 2 times 2 gives us 4. 4 times 2 gives us what? An 8. Very simple, as you see. The second one, let's evaluate 6 to the power 2. So 6 to the power 2, just as we solve this one here, we are going to get what? 6 times 6. That is 6 to the power 2. Then 6 times 6 gives us what? 36. So therefore 6 squared is equal to what? 36. You realize that in all these, it's just the properties we are just using. 10 to the power 0. What's our solution going to be? We know any number raised to the power 0 is what? 1. So 10 to the power 0 is 1. And what of 3 to the power 1? Any number raised to the power 1 is still what? 1. So it's still the same number. So 3 to the power 1 gives us 3. And then our last one, 1 to the power 5. 1 to the power 5 simply means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 and then times 1. That is 1 multiplying itself 5 times. 1 to the power 5 still gives us 1. So this is how far this video is going to get. I'll put out some exercises you can try on your own. So we have these 2 set of questions here. The first one says, write the following in exponential form. Exponential form, we mean indices. They write it as powers. Then the second one, you have to evaluate the following. Let's have beyond numbers where we learn maths the easy way. If this video was helpful, you can always choose to subscribe. That is, if you haven't, and then share as well so your friends can also learn from it. In our next lesson, we'll be looking at the laws of indices. Stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay safe. Bye.